Chapter 12. An Admission. The elevator door opened to reveal a magnificent hallway adorned in gold, chandeliers, and other fancy things that James had only ever seen on TV. Each door was a different color that James had never seen before. Even the fancy things on TV were mostly silver and gold, so to see such a palette was overwhelming. James began to walk down the hallway, when around the corner there came a woman. He stopped dead in his tracks. She was the most beautiful woman he'd ever seen. She wasn't like the rest of the world. She was in shape, well taken care of, and even had makeup on. "Earth Mother?" he managed to finally say. "Please, call me Em," Em responded. "Emily Mason, to be exact." James was beside himself. He didn't know how to react and started burping like he was taught as a child. "Please don't burp, James. I overheard your conversation the other day, remember? You're more aware of your body than most men. I've got a lot to tell you, including why it gets hard down there," Em explained. James stopped burping. The stiffness remained, but he'd make do. "You see, James, before women ruled the world, men did. And many terrible things happened," Em continued. "What? Men ruled the world? That seems like it can't be." James was obviously confused. "It's true, James. I can show you all the history books, all the old tapes, but I'm afraid I have to apologize because it was me and only me who decided to turn the tables. I thought if women had a chance to rule the world, everything would be better. But it only backfired and turned into a different kind of terrible. It wasn't until I was isolated so long here that I had lost my emotions to the point that when Thad came here, I treated him like an object. His death opened my eyes, though. I know, it's weird. It shouldn't have. Someone could have screamed it at me for my entire life, but it was that moment, your friend's death, that made me finally realize that Earth shouldn't just be controlled by women or men. Men and women need to coexist and have an equal say in how things work." James' jaw hit the floor, literally. His brain couldn't handle all the truth Em had just laid on him. He awoke to Emily's beautiful face. It seemed like it made everything make sense. He wasn't worried about all the knowledge his brain had to sort through. He just felt happy. "Emily, I'm glad I'm here," James spouted, still looking a little hazy from just having passed out. "I'm glad you're here too," Em agreed. "I think it sucks that it took my friend to die for you to realize what you were doing, but I get this sense you're going to fix everything that you did wrong. Like soon enough it won't matter that you treated men the way you did." "I promise, James. I'll fix everything. But first, let me show you what you are worried about," Emily said and climbed on top of James. They kissed. He finally knew what it was. Not just a dream, but real life. "Grab my breasts," she told him. "Your nipples give you pleasure?" he asked. "Mine were always just kinda there. I had no idea." "Women and men are very different, mister. Now please, let me show you what you've been missing your entire life." "I thought women wearing makeup would be hilarious, but you look amazing," James offered the odd compliment. "Way to almost derail the train, James." She laughed and thanked him, saying, "Let me thank you." She said it so sexually James had to burp. He couldn't help himself. Emily made his dreams come true. They kissed and caressed and sucked and fucked. Well, with all the extreme emotions and happiness involved, I guess technically they were making love. They made love for a solid week. Robots brought them food. They had sex in the shower to stay clean. It was great. Robots even took Thad's body and had a funeral and wake and everything for him. Em and James didn't attend. They were too busy being in love and didn't want to be bummed out. Everything was wonderful, and soon that wonder would be shared with the world.